Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Rona Dayz, episode 50 of the show, where I talk about what's been going on during lockdown. Now, of course, lockdown is becoming less and less of a thing. The vaccines are rolling out. Numbers seem to be going down. Pandemic's still out there. We're not back to normal times, especially my life. So, well, I don't know what normal is necessarily in regards to my life. I guess this might be the most normal my life has ever been, considering I don't have to work for somebody else at the moment. But dreams have been crazy, and I have a feeling it's primarily due to the fact I've been taking melatonin, which seems to be going pretty good. Definitely have realized that taking more than the single dose is not a good idea unless I want to be completely out of commission the whole day, the next day. But just the single 5 milligram tablet seems to do the job as far as getting pretty decent sleep for the most part, and getting to sleep for that matter. But I had a crazy dream. They've been like long, epic dreams too. And the one I had at the beginning of the week was just crazy. I was in Vegas. I was in Vegas with a woman, an ex of mine, and we were running around. There was a zombie apocalypse, and we were running around inside a Vegas hotel. Now, it's not like a specific hotel, just kind of, that's what it seemed like this giant building was. And we were going down corridors trying to get away. We were actually trying to get away to have sex, which was the premise of the dream, which a lot of my dreams tend to be me trying to get away to find space to have sex with sometimes an ex of mine or a woman that I've known in the past. Sometimes it's just some random brain-generated woman that I've never met before, ever. And it's just, we're trying to get away. And anyway, so we're in this thing, and during the process of getting away, we run into Gary Vaynerchuk, of all people. And I just add, he's going one way, we're going this way, and I ask him if he has any supplies, if he has, anything to help, any advice or anything as the zombie, you see videos of Gary V on all of his social media, and it's people coming up to him asking him advice. So during a zombie apocalypse, why not? Why? I'm never going to get a chance in my life to ask Gary V. I'm walking past him in a random Vegas hotel. Just happens to be a zombie apocalypse. I'm like, Gary, I know you're more of an entrepreneur. I know you're really good at making money, and this isn't the time to be making money, but you are a smart man. I'm going to ask you if you have anything or ideas that might help during this zombie apocalypse. And he said no. He said no, and then he had to go his way, and we had to go our way. And then later on in the dream, things happen. We were able to find a little bit of seclusion during the chaos, let's just say. But there's this other, we're going by this big door. It's like this nightclub that's closed, right? The doors are all locked up. Everything's locked up because this is a zombie apocalypse. People are trying to get cover, and we're going by this nightclub, and the door opens, and it's fucking Gary V again. And he remembered me from before, and he's like, get in here. I go inside, and there's not a lot of people in this nightclub, but this nightclub is fortified with guns. All the walls are covered in not just guns, but other types of weaponry, like spears and swords and just all kinds of things. And right when you walk in the door, it was a few people around him, but they all had these mountain bikes that were almost fortified. And he's like, choose one. He had 5 or 6 bikes. And he's like, choose one, choose any of them. I'm like, what? And there's this one bike, for whatever reason, I thought it was a good idea to choose, was a bike that was a dually bike, where the rear wheels of this bicycle, by the way, had 2 tires on it. I'm like, oh, I'll go with that one. I'll take that one. And he's like, okay, good. And then he's like, just get going. He doesn't really say much, right? But he remembered me, and he's like, he knew that I was in need of supplies, and he's like, boom, I'm gonna help this guy out. So me and my lady friend, we start kind of it was hard. It's kind of one of those things in a dream where it's like the more you know, like I know I need to start collecting weapons. I know I need to start, packing things up, getting the survival gear together because we got to pack this bike up and we need to get the F out of here. But it's like the harder it was to focus on that, the less I could focus on trying to get stuff. So it ended up just being me kind of walking around with my girl, and we find a place and we just start having sex behind a bar in this like nightclub. I mean, there's a big area. It's not like people were around us, but it's just like that's what we were there for, despite all the chaos going on around us. You know, our priorities were to get it in, to get our O faces on. And right after the event, I can't remember if it was after the event or we probably, knowing my dreams, we probably got interrupted before the finish, and zombies started to break in. And of course, once the zombies started to break in, we realized there's nobody left in this nightclub, but there's still a bunch of weapons and things. And I remember getting, like, there was this one, and it's weird how the zombies looked so computer generated. Like, the whole time in this movie, I was so not scared. It wasn't a scary situation. It was like kind of a crazy fun adventure ride. Like, I was plugged into this adventure ride. And like this zombie's coming at me, looks completely fake. And I'm like hitting it with like this hatchet type of weapon thing that has like a sword sticks to the hatchet, and they kind of like, I don't know. It was like a design for a weapon that would never work. And I'm trying to like hit it, and then like as like it's coming at me, and I'm trying to like hit it, and like pieces of its face are like flying off. But like as I'm walking by, there's these spears that are made out of like PVC that have like a tip on the top, like a wooden tip for the tip of the spear. So I grabbed one and I tried to puncture it, but it wouldn't go in, right? Because it's like the zombies were made out of stone all of a sudden. But then I was able to push the stick up against a crevice, so it would kind of, the force of the zombie coming towards me, it would impale himself. And just as it impaled himself, and I was like, I could feel the, kind of the spear going into it, I woke up. Crazy dream. Just kind of a crazy ride. I was like, my heart was thumping. I had anxiety waking up, but it wasn't like an anxiety or a panic attack where it's not good, where that's like the worst way to start out. It was just the adrenaline of being in a dream like that and then waking up. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh, that was fun. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy, kind of fun. And it was really weird that Gary V showed up in my dream. But in addition to crazy dreams, I didn't upgrade. I bought weed this week, right? Because I try to buy weed in bulk, and I do it the cheap way. I'm not doing high quality, high end stuff. I can't afford it. I'm broke as fuck. Go buy my art, please. InspiredDisorder.com. I got an ounce of shake. I was gonna get 2 ounces, but you can only get 1 ounce unless you have a medical thing. And I'm just a legal resident. I can just buy. So I'm tapped out at an ounce of shake, which is fine. And I get the shake because I roll joint. I fill king size raw cones, and it just makes it super easy. I don't have to grind it up. It's all there, and it works. And it's cheap. It's cheap as fuck. So I got an ounce of shake, and then I decided to get. They sold cough syrup bottles of edible kind of THC syrup in these cough syrup bottles, and they had one that was 1,000 milligrams. So I got one of those. And when it showed up, I think the next day, I decided, just to kind of get an idea of how strong it was going to be, I took like the smallest sip. Like it would have been like a Jolly Rancher size, if it were in candy form, a Jolly Rancher size sip of this THC syrup. And oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've been on an edible. I would imagine it was anywhere from like 50 to 100 milligrams. My tolerance is down, so if it was 50, I could see it hitting me that hard. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been that high on an edible, and it was, stressful in the moment because like I forgot the level of paranoia that it has, where it's like, and it like for whatever reason that night there was like police choppers going around. You could hear sirens. It was like it's like I was constantly waiting for some criminal to try and find refuge in the courtyard by where I sleep, and I was constantly listening for the gate next to my door to be opened for some criminal to come in and like cops to come in fall. I don't know. It was like my brain was going on fire because of the weed. And thankfully I just had to lay down and watch some Practical Jokers. I was like, this is the only way I'm gonna survive this. And it's like I knew it was the edible, it was the THC syrup that was making me feel that way. It's like I knew the whole time, like my self-talk was, this is bullshit. Just breathe. When I took my dog for a walk, it's like it feels so good to go on walks when you're high and just kind of take in all that fresh air. Um, but the next day, I mean, I slept amazing. And slept in. I slept for like 12 hours probably, and I was still high when I woke up the next day. But the thing I love about the high dose edibles is just like the most relaxing feeling once you come off of it. It's just like I'm never more relaxed and stress free than once I'm off a high dose edible. And I'm going to talk more about that on Saturday. I'm doing my top 5 things to do high. So, but the aftermath of high dose edible is amazing. So that was primarily my week. I got some painting done and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the dream, Gary V, got some weed. Love it. Hope everybody else is having a good week. Wear your masks. Be safe. Social distance. Take care. Get yourself 2 free audiobooks through Audible when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. That's 2 free audiobooks just by going through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. If you stay with the service, you get a free book every month. Audible Originals also available, guided wellness programs, news, and so much more. But get yourself 2 free books because you're a listener of The Ray Taylor Show by going through inspireddisorder.com/audible and get yourself 2 free books. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!